Well, let's help the Supreme Court out, huh? The Supreme Court. Well, you know, they made an abbreviation of South Carolina, the Supreme Court abbreviation. Now, they weren't saying South Carolina was the Supreme Court. They were just saying we're going to start this space camp thing, you know, help out the Supreme Court of the world, you know? The charters of God, the children of God. Oh, the charters of God, the children of God. Oh, yeah, you know. Your GOC, you turn around and you said, God of creations, or the guardians of creations, children of God, man. Hey, you living in America, you want to come to this country, you better know a little bit about the Bible and God, okay? That's space camp, okay? Now, it's a special camp, okay? And it's a special citizen, you know? Every last American citizen is special, you know? American citizen, AC, you get it? AC? You know, after education, AE, man. You got an EA games? Okay, cool. Earth Angel games, man, you know? Okay, so let's do. We want to know about the Constitution. They say, all these people are dead, man. How are we going to teach the Constitution? He says, well, you know, we had a big experiment, man. They wanted to call it an experiment. And he says, no, it was never an experiment, man. It was called education. And they go, experimental education? No, that's for the morons, man. We're saying there's education. They go, oh, man, teaching the Constitution. He said, well, you think about it, man. You got a House of Representatives. And I gave you the big example the other night. I'll give you a smaller example today. We say, we got a House of Representatives, right? And in heaven, you know, I go, I prepare a place for you. There's many rooms. My Father has many rooms in the kingdom of heaven, man. So we made many states for the many states of mind, you know? So we can work out our differences and say, hey, we got 50 states, man. 50 states. And in all of those 50 states, we got we the people, cops, citizens on patrol, you know? Create officers, you know, polite services. Oh, polite services? Yeah, man. You hold an office, you gotta do this or that. Be polite, you know? You know, like Roadhouse, man, I'll tell you, be polite. I'll tell you when it's time not to be polite. The House, you get it? All 50 states. Oh, man, that's the House? I said, yeah, man, that's the House. Because we've seen it before, man. So we're like, okay, what's the Senate? Well, the Senate is a big coalition, you know? It's a big coalition. They go, man, a BC temple? Yeah, BC temple, man. BCT? Yeah, big coalition technical, you know? Big coalition technology, you know? You know, big technology, big corporation, you get it? We go, man, the promises of America. It says, the promises of a miracle? Yeah, man, we designed it. We said, hey, we got the House of Representatives, man. The House of Representatives. Yeah, man. All 50 states, man. I go and prepare a place for you everywhere, man. And I say, we got 50 states, okay? And then we say, you know, the Senate. Okay, the Senate. Okay, yeah, man. You know, you got the House of Representatives trying to figure it out. And they send it up to the Senate because, you know, for the people, the elders and the older people that sent it before, you know, but maybe they don't know about this new stuff, so, you know, you can work in the middle class, okay? Middle class. That's the Senate. And he says, oh, what do you mean? Well, you know, you got an equator. Now, when you want to break things down into fractions so you can fraction out the problem, remember, I say you take a big problem and you divide it up into smaller problems and issues. Now, when we all met in Orlando back in like 2010, we said, hey, did you get a location on the 10 Commandments yet? Hey, Mr. Kirk, could you teach the Constitution to Congress and Senate? Because, you know, they kind of got lost. It's like, you get a 20 on that 10 Commandments yet? He says, man, you know, we all met and said the Liberty Coalition, everybody want to know about that secret society, man. The secret society? Yeah, the silent service, man. You know, space camp in South Carolina, the Bible Belt state. Get it? Bible belt. You got your belt of truth on you with the armor of God. This is okay. We're going to teach them about it then. We got the House, you know, of Representatives. Oh, House of Representatives. Okay, let's say it again. You know, the representatives of heaven. Oh, the House. Hey, you guys in the House yet? Are we the people? Oh, man. So then you got to vote for these representatives to tell you about we the people, okay? What's the condition of the people? Well, it's the State of the Union address, man. How do you get that? Well, the people that have seen it before, you know, they're in Senate, you know, and they're like, hey, you seen that before? No, not really. We'll talk to the House and see what's going on. Okay, we got it? All right. So they got the Senate, man. So we broke everything down into fractions, man. And we're like, okay, mathematical, it's a universal language, man. It meets UL requirements. Universal L. L. He's like, oh, L? Yeah, Superman, Superman, keeper of the books. Kind of like educational stuff, man. Teachers should be like Superman, And I says, okay, here we go. So we make a fraction with the equator line. Everybody want equal rights. So he says, okay, you know what? We're going to lift you up like a Jesus. And they go, what do you mean? Jesus. Jesus, man. You got to put shoes on your feet so you don't burn your feet, man. Jesus. It's hot in the desert. We got to fix that. We got to find out how to do it together. So we said, okay, man. We're going to do the Constitution. We got the House of Representatives. We got all this rainforest stuff in South America, and the treetops, man. They shade from the sun and keep the evaporation down, so you got humidity and stuff. And that helps the airplanes fly with less fuel, man. Fuel conservation, for Christ, for wisdom, FC, for Christ, citizens, man. For Christ citizens, we the people. So it says, man, we got an equator line, we're dividing the problem in half, And this is, well, that's not fair, man. You got 50 states up there, with trees and stuff. And then we got all this stuff down here. And we got no middle ground to figure it out, so we need a test environment, A test environment, yeah, man. And if you turn it back around, you find out extraterrestrials, man, because we came from space. You get it? Oh, okay. So it says, okay, now that we got the equator down, it says, man, the North Pole, the magnetism is moving. I go, yeah, man. The magnetism is moving, so you can spread around those ideas and magnetize people to the truth of education. And it says, man, now that's the truth, man. It says that's true citizens, man. The COG, continuance of government. Yeah, it's the children of God, the charters of God. Those charter kids. Oh, can you carbon copy that? No, man, those charter kids are something special, man. That's why they call them Seek. CK? Seek a solution. Oh, man, they seek a solution, man. Yeah, man, we'll go out there, we seek all kind of solutions to give them education and psychology, figure out how they can learn the governmental stuff, man. Governmental stuff is more about environment. And they say we got this stuff, man. Well, people are a product of their environment because they product of environment. Well, it says, don't be po in spirit, po in wisdom. We're going to take one of those genius kids, man. Just take a bunch of them, make a bunch of charter kids, and just throw them out there and say, can you map out these problems for us and tell us how to solve it? Okay, man, we're doing it. We got the House of Representatives, in the top, like a heavenly people. And then we got, the senators, So we got all these senators and stuff. They send it to everybody. And that's the big continent, the bigger coalition, the Liberty Coalition. And they say, man, that's universal love. Yeah, the universal love of valuable education, okay? All together, big continent, and they call that the NIV, the Navy CBs, Chart busters, man. We go, man, y'all been singing this music so long, you don't even understand what it means. It says, man, did you talk to Mr. Kirk? I says, okay, we got a chart busters. All right. You got chart busters? Yeah, man, chart busters. Okay. Well, we got to get those citizens out there, man. Which ones? The charter believers. Oh, the charter believers. Yeah, man, the charter believers, man. They got a chart. They got educational restorations. And they believe, man, because they know. This is okay. Well, they needed faith for faith and trust for trust. So we go to the courthouse to say, hey, you guys are messing up again, man. You talk to the Supreme Court. Okay. You forgot about Space Camp. Okay. Well, we got to talk to Space Camp again. They got the International Space Station, the United Space Agency, and the International Space Agency, okay? And they take the agency out and you say, aliens, man. Yeah, aliens. And then you got angels too, man. So, like, okay. Now, does everybody understand the Constitution yet? It said divine providence. Divine providence? Yeah, the divine people, the charter people, like the aliens and angels. Oh, those people. Yeah, well, if you turn it around, it's the police department. I keep saying it's the courtesy officers, and they found out this guy was a cop or a police, and man, they did a bunch of bad things to him. It's like, man, they were supposed to be courtesy officers. You wonder why the police and the sheriffs and everybody was pissed off? They said, did you see what they did at Charter Boy? And I said, man, Charter Boy went down to New Mexico. That's the Newman Group. The Newman Group? Yeah, Newman Group, man. I says, what's that? And it's the national men. The cops, the police, the sheriff, the army, the navy, the military, all those people that protect you. And he says, man. So we went down to New Mexico to talk to the aliens and the angels, It's a AAA for the United States, man. They put it out there in the enchanted land in case somebody wanted to do like enchantments and crazy voodoo stuff. It's like, oh, so now you're starting to understand the Constitution. I said, Mr. Kirk, can you teach the Constitution? I said, I'm working on it. But there's so many different cultures and stuff all over the planet. People got a little crazy, I'm like, you tell one person this, and they do this, tell the other person this. They showed me that when I was a kid in kindergarten. I'm like, hey, man, you see that what that kid did? This is, man, they told me this, and I tell them this, and then they put me in the middle, I was like, that's not what they said, man. They said this. And it's like, man, breakdown in communication, man. So it's, breaking communications. Oh, you build a wall? Yeah, man. Build a wall, man. A breaking communications wall. That's the hieroglyphics we used to write on the cave walls in the Indian caves and stuff. The Egyptians and stuff. You go on those temples, man, they got pyramids with stuff on the walls. Nobody understands the symbols. It's like, well, you can make a little symbol that means a whole bunch of stuff, and those translators get over there and they actually live long enough to translate it for you. Maybe they'll get some wisdom, because they didn't have trees to put paperwork, So the whole state got together like, hey, man, Mr. Kirk's waking up, man. He's taking a 20 on the 10 commandments, And he says, all right, man, let's do a Paperwork Reduction Act. Paperwork Reduction Act? Yeah, man, everybody was complaining. It's like, can you save the trees? Green trees, man, we're trying to save trees. Oh, we're trying to save trees? Yeah, paperwork reduction, man, so we make computers. I'm like, man, people don't understand the stuff on the computers. Well, they got, in the virtual reality, man. So I go to flight school and I says, hey, the instructor's complaining about the flight school thing. I like the thing, with the hydraulics and all this other stuff. I says, well, you can't start with that, man. You gotta break them in first, man. It's like being on a farm. You're like, hey, you see this? You got 3 screens there. You familiar with the Trinity? You know about the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost? It's angel intelligence, man. American Indians, They go, that's what American Indians do? I said, yeah, that's what American Indians do. We go, so you mean we made all these planes and all these space shuttles and all this stuff so people can understand American Indians and aliens and stuff? That's alien intelligence, man. You mean when you talking to the birds, and the birds show up and they do all this crazy cool stuff? Well, most people, they train their animals. They're like, hey, can you do this little trick for me? Can you do this little trick for me? Can you do this little trick for me? I mean, they have to go to school for that stuff, American Indians? No, man. We got that alien intelligence, man. We just walk up and the animals say, hey, man, let me tell you about what this person did and this person did. Hey, this is what we need, And they see me making videos like that, and they're like, man, this guy drove all over the United States. So there's no trainer animals that are familiar with this guy, man. He just walk up to the animal and say, hey, can you tell me what they're doing over here? And they say, damn, ducks are doing this, the birds are doing that. How you do that? And he says, man, Snoop Dogg then got on there and says, man, I love what you did with them bears, man. The bears? Yeah, man, you see what them bears did? Oh, man, the bad news bears, you get it? It was a joke, And it says, man, you get an education. You say, okay, we got to tell them about the Constitution, though, because, if they don't know about the Constitution, nobody worked together. Whole system falls apart, and this is why you think we're trying to fix education, For a fee, right? For a fee. Oh, fix education. I don't see no money thing in there. Oh, feminitals. You see? The female not tails, man. Now she tells on herself. She says, man, we were charging too much for this and that. And while you guys are out there, breaking your legs and your arms and your fingers trying to put stuff together, man. Like the hard way, trying to build this stuff and make life easy for everybody. Feminitals. You see that, feminitals? You see? It's like, they're destroying families. Like, hey, I want equal rights. I want to go out there and break my legs and my arms too. And the men are like, you want to go out here and break your legs and your arms and blow shit up? Are you crazy? We're out here doing all this stuff so you don't have to do that. And eventually we won't have to do it, Now that's equal rights. So we're out there doing all that. And we got women over here teaching kids crazy stuff, man. We're like, man, somebody call those aliens, man. We need more angels. It's okay. Angels, can we start educating? They said, no problem. All right, so we got aliens and stuff, man. All right, so, Constitution, man. So you think of the House of Representatives. So it's like, well, get your compass direction. The North Stars. North Stars, yeah, man. Those real quiet Secret Service agents, man. The SSA or the SSI or the SS. The S is C. For the C, the shiny C. You see? STSS. The space mission. STS, they always make the space mission shuttles, they start with STS. Because ST is people crying about it, man. They're like, man, people crying about all the misery and stuff in the world, so we say STS. Solutions. you know, S tier, you know, SS, you know. Okay, so we got a triple S for the United States Navy, okay? So it's a Space Service Solutions, man. Silent Service Solutions, you get it? Triple S, as my dad used to always say. You got a triple S shit, man? Okay, so let's tell them about the Constitution again. We're going to keep going around, okay? We got a Constitution. Okay, cool. We got 50 states with the 5 books of the Bible going all around teaching people about everything, okay? That's 5 books of the Bible full circle. And if you get 5 books of the Bible full circle, then you get the North American and the South American, and they shake hands, 5 and 5, split in half like a common denominator, and you get 10 commandments, okay? Then you get one nation educating all around the world. Now that's how you have a common denominator. Now you're starting to learn math with astrophysics. Astrophysics, well, it's Association Press, you know, the wine press. You know, my family, we drink no wine until it's time, and ain't time to drink wine yet, so we're going to tell you about the common denominators. The CDs, yeah, man. We made CDs, man, so we could put information on a round disc. And we said, if you get a round disc, you know, a round desk is like the round table. The knights of the round table, you know, hold them, stand up for what's good and righteous, you know, morals and ethics, you know, good family values. You know, the CD, man, you know, with the information, you know, where everybody's talking across the table with each other, nobody's stabbing each other in the back. That's why they had the round table. They set all the swords on the table pointing to the center, man. They go, the problem is right here in the center, man. Let's get to the core and the root of the problem, okay? And we're not going to blow things up. We're going to talk it out around the round table. So they made a United Nations. Oh, got a United Nations? Yeah, made a United Nations, man. And it says, well, how's the United Nations going to get their information? Did you forget about a miracle America? Yeah, you know, 50 states, man. 5 books of the Bible in North America with the 50 states. They figure out the issues, you know, House of Representatives for the House of God. And then we go, when we got the Senate, you know. The Senate, you know, we say North America and South America, you know, common denominators. And if you turn the world upside down, you get South America on top of North America, you know, so you get double the problem, you know, double the solution. I say, wow, man. Yeah, that's why we made the Nintendo DS, you know, new information, now educating, you know, 10 for the 10 commandments, and, you know, diplomatic solutions, man. Nintendo DS. You think those Japanese people, those Chinese people weren't paying attention? They're like, man, we're doing all the electronics we can. We're really working on this stuff, man. And if we can get these people doing their culture stuff right, then we got a world system that works. A world system, yeah, a world script. You get it? Now you flip it back around and you go the Southwest. Well, that's why we're writing all that programming language and scripting and stuff, man. Come on, let's get with the program. They go, man, GWP? Yeah, GWP. You turn it around, you got People's Wise God. Oh, People's Wise God? Yeah, man. The wise guardians of intelligence and education, man. Teachers, man. And the U.S. Postal Service. You know, last line of defense and the first line of defense, man. And it's like, oh, man, are you serious? He says, yeah, man. So, the good, wise people, you know. And it says, what do you mean? You know, People's Wise God, man. PWG, man. Your GOD with the acronym. And he says, oh, man, that's what we're talking about. The good of diplomacy, you know, for education and communication. And he says, that's the EC? Yeah, man. Educational Communications, you know. Oh, that's the ECC. Yeah, man. Educational Communications Commission. And we'll go, that's the FCC? Yeah, man. Federal Communications Commissions. That's why we call the South Americans, man. We had the federales. Remember? The federales, you know? The federal rallies. And we go, man, what about those Israeli people? Those are like the scientists, man, that are hidden underground, man. They're trying to work on all this stuff for everybody. The Israeli intelligence, you know? It's really intelligence, you know? It's really intelligence. It's rally intelligence, you know? You know, for the federales and for the we the people, man. So you got the House of Representatives, and then you got the senators, and then you got the President of the United States. Oh, yeah, man, the presidents of the United States, you know? You set precedents for education, you know? That's the PFE, Personal Flotation Education, to keep you above ground and above water. You ever hear you want to keep your head above water, you know? You want to keep your head above in the spirit of God, you know? So we made planes and space shuttles and spaceships and stuff, man. We got stuff floating around in space with satellites. We got stuff from billions of years ago, man, still up there. We're decoding and trying to figure out what happened, man. It's like, you know, the NCIS, you know? NCIS, yeah, you know, Naval Crime Investigation Services. It's not really what it means, man. It means the National Committee Investigation Services, man. You turn it back around, you got social intelligence, okay? Creating nations, you see? Backwards and forwards, man. I said it last summer. I says, hey, we're going to give you some sermons and some information, some education, and you can look at it backwards and forwards. And that way, this time, if you look at it in this direction, you're like, oh, man, I look at it in this direction, and they try to twist it up, mess it up. We're like, no, man, that's what the Hebrew stuff was for, man, is really intelligence. So when you look at it one way, you go, oh, it makes sense. And if they try to turn it around and twist it up, you look at the other direction, it still means the same thing. Israeli intelligence, man. And they go, man, that's what that Star Trek stuff was about. And it says, man, if you got two eyes, you go, man, aye, Captain, you know, get it? The U.S. Navy? It's like NIV, New International Versions. We go, oh, man, new intelligence versions, man. Yeah, new versions of education that works. And it says, man, you mean the Kirk family and all those families from way back when and all those old peoples and elders that kept their promises? And we says, yeah, you know, if somebody didn't lie like they did in the beginning, well, we would have got a little further, a little sooner, you know? And it's like, okay, a little sooner, you know? Yeah, that's why we call it the Sunshine State, man. We got all these little planes that quiet. You can't even hear them. The new technology flying above. Like, how come I can't hear that jet like I did, 2 years ago? I see a jet like that flying over, man. It's supposed to be breaking a sound barrier, making a bunch of noise. I can't hear it, man. Oh, it's because we got the technology. We've always had the technology. The thing is, do we have the brains? See, now that's the test. Do we have the brains? You got the bronze. Do you have the strength of a nation to build stuff? Yeah, man, we've always had that. But do we have the brains? You got to have brains and bronze. There's a Judge Babs down there, man. What's Judge Babs? Well, a lot of people babbling about a bunch of BS, And it says, well, you got your bachelor services? Yeah. Well, that's because they use the people like Egyptians did, We got people math, man. We're playing the name game. Hey, bachelor services, man. Marry this one or that one, and this one or that one, and we'll mix the names up and see if we can figure something out. That's not how you do math, man. That's why they had Babs, man. Build a better system. Build a better system? Yeah, man, that's what it meant, man. You had Bugs Bunny, remember? Last summer I said, hey, I'm going to be your Bugs Bunny, man. I want to bug you to death, man. I'm going to hug you and squeeze you, love you to death like Elmira, man. Elmira, they say Elvira, my heart's on fire, man. Yeah, man, because people were burning with anger, man. Burning down the crops, the world, and everything else, and dropping nuclear bombs. It's like, we can't do that, man. So we had Bugs Bunny, man. The badge bunnies, people bugging all the cops and stuff, and bugging the sheriffs and bugging people, and they're trying to build an educational system, You say, oh, the best bet? Build educational solutions today, That's your best bet. You want a black entertainment television? How about a black educational training, It's like everybody had black hearts. Don't worry about the skin color, man. You need to get a little white in you, White, slate clean, man, with a whiteboard. Write it down, And it says, man, what about that? And it says, well, that's what Bugs Bunny was, man. Getting all the bugs out of the system, man. We got all these places, man. You got bug stuff, so we made pest control. And then it says, well, we'll make a joke out of it. Maybe they'll understand the pest, Crazy movie called The Pest, man. It's like, man, I ain't gonna get in that. We got Babs, build a better system. I said, what? Yeah, Space Boy, Angel Boy, Space Boy, Alien Boy. That guy down there from New Mexico? And then New York goes, man, you remember that guy we put on a sailboat and we forgot about the NIV Bible? Yeah, man, it's the Navy stuff, man. He says, well, I woke up, man, like it came out of a space capsule. Space capsule? Yeah, South Carolina, the space camp thing, man. Oh, man, we forgot about that. He says, well, we sent him down from New York, man. People weren't really nice, man. They tried to call him Joe Dirt and stuff, And it's like, well, they needed a JD. What's a JD? There's JD, there's jurists, diplomatic people, The JD's for the courthouse to straighten out the court system. Yeah, man, you turn around backwards and you go, see us? Yeah, they see us, man. We're serious, And he's like, oh, man, you got to be kidding me. He says, well, we were trying to do that before, but they weren't listening. So we went down to Mexico and said, what guy? The guy, he does a thing, down in New Mexico. I don't know, maybe the guy that sailed the big ship under the, Brooklyn Bridge. And this is with a big United States Navy flag on it. It says United Space Agencies. Yeah, man, for the USA. And we're like, man, that's some crazy alien stuff. He's like, man, you wouldn't believe the stuff we got up there in space that God's waiting to give to you. So he's like, man, that's good, awesome stuff. And I was like, yeah, man, you got gas? They made jokes about that in the 60s and the 70s. Oh, man, the 60s and the 70s? Yeah, man. If you take the 60 and you take a 70 and you put a Sikh 7, Sikh 7 churches with 2 open eyes, they go, man, do you got gas? Did you make a quick stop at the gas station? Were you guessing? And you're like, man, come on, man. So we made a big puzzle for everybody to solve. And he's like, now that's gas. That's good angel system. He says, well, we were waiting for somebody to put it together so we could have babs instead of bugs. What's babs? Well, building a better system. Oh, cool, man. So, space boy, man. You got that? Angel boy? Okay, alien boy, you waking up yet? And we go, well, if you take that, you go secret agent, BB, in case you want to, checker it. Chinese checkers, just kind of do a little, hey, it's like a big earthquake from God, just rumbled the table, man, like Scrabble, and the 2 letters bounced over, and it said, man, space agents. Israeli BB, man. Oh, as the Israeli BB, Oh, it's rally, baby, rally the troops together, angels of God and the aliens, That's a big book, Secret Angels, big book, and it's a book. You can't write all the stuff down, man. If you write all that stuff down and you don't teach it, like you're supposed to, teachers, they just pass out a book. Here's some worksheets, man, figure it out. That's kind of messed up. They're supposed to be teaching, And it says, well, if we just put it on a paper, well, if you're teaching like that, man, you'll run out of trees, the intelligence of God, He says, hey, man, there's a lot of stuff up there in the universe, man. We got to have databases and stuff. Here's the MDB. Yeah, man. They thought it was a baseball system. I was like, no, man. That's a mega database. It's like a Mega Man, Multimedia. Okay, man. And it says, okay, will you talk about that? And it says, yeah, man, it's like Mega Man, It's some Mega Man stuff, man. And it says, okay, so we can't put all that stuff on paper and books because we've run out of trees, man. And then the whole planet will burn up. And I go, man, that's why God said, hey, you got all this knowledge, man? Can y'all try to seek a little wisdom first, Because, if you're trying to write all this stuff down, that's why Hitler was burning the books. They said, man, Hitler's a really bad guy, man. That German guy is horrible. Can't believe he burned the books. He's like, stop trying to write everything down in these books. We got to build computers again, man, with technology without blowing each other up. Because if you write everything down in books, the intelligence of God, man, you got God's intelligence? Okay. We made soldiers, the army of God, they call them GIs, God's intelligent. That's why I said we don't want no stupid soldiers, man. We got to have an education, so we got a GI Bill. You guys talk to GI Joe yet? You got your coffee? We're waking them up, okay? So he said, man, if you cut down all the trees and write all the stuff down in little service manuals and books, well, guess what? You're going to run out of trees, man. That's a fire and brimstone. He says, man, we had a flood, He said, we got a flood to just cool you all off or wash you off, and that's what baptism was about. Now they're starting to understand baptism. He says, oh, well, we said it was more than just the water you dip yourselves in, And it says, man, no, just dip yourself in the water, man. It's hot out there. Your brain needs to cool down. Just dip in the water, man. Just dip in the water. And then you got, hey, you got these other churches, man, like the Catholic churches. They got this little thing, man, like a big steel ball, like a big steel ball, man. And they just dip it in the water and they're slinging it. You know why? Because they're like, man, I got a little drop of water, man. And it's hot. It's hot in the desert, man. But I got a little drop of water, man. It's not enough. Can we get some brains? Can we get some brains? So then they made up a little dance, for the people. You had the church, you had the Roman Catholic Church, man, because they're roaming around trying to find solutions. They don't know what to do either, man. And then the Pope of Romans going, man, can you believe this stuff? The poor of people's education. The Pope. Pope took that job and says, look, we're all poor of people's education, man. So we got to figure it out together. So they got this little ball, like a big steel ball, because that's how it's going to be left of the earth, man. It'd be a big lump steel ball with nothing on it, man. Just all computers and technology with no humanity. So like, here, give me some intelligence, man. Can you do that for us? I said, yeah, no problem. We're slinging around. He says, well, we made a sprinkler dance, man. Dividing it up, man. Dividing it up, man. Dividing it up, man. All right? And they said, because we need water and stuff out there in the deserts, man. Can you just, sprinkler systems? No, that's not going to work. Why? Because they're dividing up the trees, man, trying to write all this stuff down. And I says, well, if you use the natural stuff, you got sunlight there and some mirrors, evaporation, like look around how the atmosphere works, That's why they made an International Space Station, man. So you see how the atmosphere works, so they could try and recreate that in smaller atmospheres on the Earth. Oh, like smaller groups, man, like in the Bible, man. Moses and everybody. And, hey, I got a 50 states, for the House of Representatives. And then, we got the Senate. You seen it now? There's a man. They've seen it now. Okay, they've seen it, maybe. Okay. And then we got the President of the United States. Okay, and he gives a speech on the State of the Union. And then the South Americans hear it, and they're like, man, we got to get some trees and some grass up to those people. And then North Americans here, they say, man, we got to get some food and some crops down to those people. So from both sides of the fence, they find a middle ground in the center, and they go, where's the fence? Go ahead, build a wall, man. Build a wall. You see a wall anywhere in the middle of those battleground states? No, man, we see a bunch of deserts. So you got the northerns and the southerners, coming down like, here comes North America. Here comes South America. And I go, what do you got? Well, if you go north, south, AA, do a little earthquake of God, man. Oh, okay. So then you go north, south, and AA. Alien angels or angel aliens, man. Man, like those pods that landed in different places all around the earth. Yeah, man, the scientific pods, Now that was an experiment, okay? Now you go, okay, so we got north, south, alien angels. Yeah. Why? Well, if you got the north coming down like North America, and you got the South Americans coming in, you get in the middle, you got north, south, that's the direction of your compass, and you got AA. Oh, man. Yeah, man. Angel America, Alien America, Adventure America, And what's the adventure, man? Well, the adventure is we're going to do what they say couldn't be done. That's what eastbound and down meant. Eastbound and down, yeah, Arch of the Covenant, man. We took the entire continent, man, and we shuffled it up and messed it up and said, now we're going to rebuild it and show the whole world. So we said eastbound and down, or the beginning of a rainbow, and it starts over here, and it kind of goes up like a shuttle and lands over here. So we sent a shuttle program, man. That's why the Colombians got pissed off. I'll say it again, Colombians, okay? And this is what I need to see, man, and what everybody else needs to see, so the whole world knows. We had a Columbia, South Carolina, for the Colombian space shuttle. Why? Because it was serious business. CS, see? CS, Coalition Solutions. So he said the Colombian mountains and the North American mountains. Oh, man, yeah, Colombian mountains and North American mountains. North American mountains, you see?